The main opposition, CPN-UML, has decided to seek clarification from 22 of its lawmakers who had crossed the floor and voted in support of Prime Minister Sherbardo Deuba, accusing them of flouting the party's decision. As party chairman KP Sharma Oli has already reiterated to take strong action against lawmakers for breaching the party's decision, it is likely that the party will relieve them from party membership. Good morning, I am Bipashna Tamang and these are the headlines of the hour. CPN-UML seeks clarification from 22 of its lawmakers for crossing the floor against the party's decision, warns of taking action against those who voted for Sherbardo Deuba. Prime Minister Deuba faces challenges in cabinet expansion of convincing parties from the alliance despite securing a comfortable confidence vote from the lower house. The UK, US and EU accused China of carrying out a major cyber attack earlier this year targeting Microsoft Exchange servers, affecting at least 30,000 organizations globally. And Tokyo Games organizers insist the Olympic Village is a safe place to stay. Tokyo 2020 sponsor Toyota decides not to run Olympics-related TV commercials in Japan. The CPN-UML, which has been shifted from the ruling to the main opposition in the parliament, is on verge of a split with a deepening inter-party dispute and faction-wise reprisal. It has been almost confirmed that top-brass leaders of the party, KP Sharma Oli and Madhav Kumar Nepal, who are co-founder members since party establishment, are now looking for every possible option to weaken each other. We have more in this report.
The Central Committee meeting of CPN-UML held on Monday sought clarification from 22 lawmakers, including senior leader Madhav Kumar Nepal, for crossing the floor against the party's decision and asked them to furnish the clarification within 24 hours. Party chairman KP Sharma Oli, during the meeting, was very furious with the leaders from the dissident faction. Experts opine there is a slim chance for both the top brass leaders sharing the same space within the party, as the leadership has already decided to take strong action against leaders involved in crossing the floor, accusing them of being traitors. Meanwhile, the Nepal faction has also concluded that it could not consider Oli as the party chairman and remain as part of CPN-UML anymore. It has been understood that the dissident faction is all set to split the party legally and officially with the help of 40% members in the parliamentary party and the Central Committee by including a few more lawmakers in the team. The faction is also adopting a strategy to prolong the ongoing dialogues for a few more days to weaken the grip of Chairman Oli in the party. The faction is even said to be looking for a two-third majority in the ruling alliance and to register an impeachment motion against a few high officials.
In the changing course of the country's politics, Prime Minister Sherbardo Deuba comfortably secured the confidence vote from the House of Representatives and received the opportunity to lead the government thanks to the inter-party dispute within the CPN-UML. However, Premier Deuba, while expanding his cabinet, is likely to face challenges of convincing parties from the alliance and his own party in a bid to hold his position. More in this report.
Prime Minister Sherbardo Deuba secured the vote of confidence with the support of 3 political parties and the dissident faction of CPN-UML. However, the main challenge for the Premier now, as experts say, is to expand his cabinet, convincing all the parties from the alliance. Prime Minister Deuba, who had already appointed 2 ministers each from his own party Nepali Congress and CPN Maoist Center, can now add up to 20 new faces in his cabinet. It has been learnt that Premier Deuba has already asked the names of 3 potential leaders from his own party to be included in the cabinet. Prime Minister Deuba, according to his close associates, is in the mood to allocate portfolios proportionately. Meanwhile, Premier Deuba has already asked CPN Maoist Center to provide 6 possible names for the expansion of the cabinet, while discussion is still going on with Janata Samajwadi Party, as the Mahanta Thakur faction of the party decided to support the Prime Minister at the last hour. The Nepal faction of CPN-UML, meanwhile, is almost confirmed to secure 5 portfolios in the Deuba cabinet. However, the faction is likely to join the government later, as it is looking for the inter-party dispute to be settled at the earliest. Experts say it would be easy for Prime Minister Deuba, who has been appointed to the post despite his party being in minority, to expand his cabinet on proportionality by addressing the party-wise issues and the common agenda of the alliance. The constitution has limited the number of ministers to 25. The coming days for Premier Deuba seems to be challenging as he needs to address the issues within his own party and within the alliance to hold the position without any hindrances.
The nation continues to reel under corona crisis as 32 individuals succumbed to the virus yesterday. Meanwhile, the fatality rate continues to stand at 1.5%. 1,642 new coronavirus cases were reported in the country yesterday, taking the total infections tally to over 668,000. Based on the latest report by the Health Ministry, 7,833 tests through the PCR method were carried out yesterday, while the infection rate continues to stand at an alarmingly high 20.9%. The Kathmandu Valley alone reported 474 new cases. 1,258 individuals registered full recovery, taking the total number of recoveries to 633,000 as the recovery rate stands at 94.7%. According to the Health Ministry, there are 25,837 active cases, out of which 23,334 are in home isolation, while 564 are in intensive care units, and 155 corona patients are being treated with ventilator support. Meanwhile, the government has urged manufacturing countries to provide COVID-19 vaccines to Nepal. The cabinet meeting held yesterday afternoon decided to urge vaccine manufacturing countries to provide vaccines either under assistance or through procurement process. Meanwhile, the Indian government has assured to provide vaccines to Nepal at the earliest. The Foreign Ministry in its Twitter informed that Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in a telephone conversation with Prime Minister Shehbaz Deuba, assured to provide vaccines to Nepal at the earliest. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked officials participating in a meeting of the Hospital Management Committee under Lumbini Province how hospitals have been providing services amid the pandemic. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
इम्युनिटी वृद्धि गर्ने खालका चाहिँ उपायहरू अवलम्बन गर्न सिकाउने र आफूसँग भएका केही औषधिहरू वितरण गर्ने गरेका छौं।
हामीका सेवाग्राही कम आउने अवस्था भएको हुनाले हामीका भएका डाक्टर साहबलाई कोरोना विशेष अस्पतालमा हामीले डिप्लोय गरेर त्यहाँ सहयोग गर्ने काम चाहिँ हामीले गर्यौं।
हामी बालबालिकालाई समेत हुने गरी आइसियु निर्माण गरिसकेका छौं, जो हिजो मात्रै हाम्रो सञ्चालनमा आइ पनि सक्यो। यो हाम्रो युएस परिसरमा रहन्छ। त्यसको बावजुद पनि हामी अझै थप तयारीमा पनि छौं।
Time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
And here's the question: what's your take on the trend of operating organizations using force? The options are option A, lack in ideology, option B, anarchic thinking, and option C, same old trend. The voting is on. Type NAWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. And that's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Have a great day ahead.